We are in Jamaica, and here's our story of how we got COVID and how it's been day 7 of quarantine so far.
It just hurts to hear it out loud. Day 7.
Day 7.
I mean, very lucky and blessed, all things considered, but, you know.
It sucks. Jeez. Where to start? I guess we can say that we were in a other part of Jamaica. We came here for a wedding, and we kind of extended that wedding to a vacation for us. And it's been like 2 years since we've taken a vacation, and we deserved it. So we came for the wedding. I will let Muzzy take over that part a little bit, and then I'll go some back and forth action.
Yeah, sure. So it's my friend's wedding. That's why we're out here in Jamaica. And like Faro said, we extended it for the holidays. So we were in one city and then we moved to another city. We're hitting 3 cities up in total. But I think day 2 in the second city, we started to feel some symptoms.
Just like Muzzy did.
Yes, specifically, I did first.
Yep.
Farwa did later that day. It was a Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, we tested positive.
We went to sleep, just to give you some more details. We went to sleep that night, Tuesday night, and it was pretty bad. That night was not fun. Like, me and Muzzy really struggled. It was probably one of the worst nights of sleep ever. And Muzzy was burning up, like his body, like already, like radiates heat. But it was so bad that I woke up and I was like, dude, you need to go take some medicine. And I wasn't feeling good, or else I would have gone up and given him some medicine. But I was like laying there, I was like, you need to take some medicine because you really don't like feel good. And so we woke up and we genuinely felt like absolutely horrible. Like, we were so weak. Our throats were really scratchy. We felt like we had chills, fever. Like, it was just like, it was really bad. And so that's when we decided, we were like, you know what, we're here for another 11 days. I think that we should go get tested just in case. So it's like, we don't want to obviously be giving it to other people at the resort, just for clarity of mind. And we did, because we're good citizens. And we went in, and 2-hour shock, it was positive. And here's a little bit of probably I'm going to insert some clips of us being very distraught and getting the news that we're positive, and it was not fun. It was not fun at all.
Yeah, I think it was shocking because
we definitely didn't think that. We went through 2 years of the pandemic, like, not getting COVID, and so we genuinely, for some reason, thought that we weren't going to get COVID. It was going to be negative, and we were going to go back to our resort or our room and just like tough it out. But it was COVID.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, we were told that we had to go back to our room, actually, and that they would...
Security actually walked us to our room.
Yeah, and that they would begin prepping a quarantine room for us, which we eventually were moved to. This, in fact, is that very room. We didn't move until much later that day. I think it was like maybe 10, 9.
Yeah, it was pretty late. We were like, first they told us to go pack. Yeah. Like, they were kind of unclear. They were like, go pack. And so me and Muzzy, like,
begrudgingly packed.
Literally, we're in so much pain. We're like, oh my freaking God. Like, we have to pack while we feel like absolute like hell, right? Yeah. So we went and we packed everything up. Like, literally within like 30 minutes, every little thing up. And we got our like luggage, and we went outside, and they were like, oh, we'll let you know when quarantine room is ready. We're like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna stay here until our quarantine room is ready. And so we laid in our bed that entire day, and we got our test done at like 10:30 that morning. So that entire day we were stuck in our room. And just saying, that day did not count as quarantine day 1. We were in our room literally all day. Doesn't count. they count the next day as day 1, which is very frustrating.
Yeah, it's weird because, as far as we know, in the US, they'll count the first day that you have symptoms in terms of,
Like day 1.
Yeah, right. Like, hopefully that's when you quarantine, but the whole clock thing is based on, like, well, how long are you contagious for? How long are you going to be sick for until, like, the virus sort of runs its cycle? Here, they do it based on the day that you get tested positive plus 1 day. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
And also, we didn't even mention that we were with a couple, and we moved from the wedding resort, which was in a small town, or not a small town, I don't know, called Ocho Rios in Jamaica. And we drove with that couple. It was like 5 hours from Ocho Rios to Negril. So if you guys are familiar with the geography of Jamaica, we went from like up here, and we'll put a map, all the way to Negril, and that's where we are right now. We were supposed to go to Montego Bay. Obviously, it didn't happen. We're still in Negril, still in the quarantine room. But the day that we got tested positive, our friends were still at this resort, and they were so nice. They were able to go to the pharmacy and get us some antibiotics to get that started in our system. So the next day after our friends gave us antibiotics, we were able to take that, and we definitely feel like because of that and Tylenol, our symptoms were able to get, done quicker, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry about that technical difficulty, but now we're gonna get into our symptoms. So I've written down some notes on my phone, so if I look at my phone, that's what it is. But I guess we can go because I have my notes. But Day 1, we felt really like heavy chills, low grade fever, we think. They didn't really have a thermometer for us to use, so we couldn't really check day by day. And the pharmacy didn't have a thermometer for us to buy either, so that was a little annoying. But I had some joint pain, which was very weird. Obviously a sore throat, foggy brain. The night was horrible, as I was saying. We couldn't sleep, was always cold, literally couldn't get out of bed, and a lot of fatigue. Anything else to add that you felt the first day?
No, I think that's about it. I think. Yeah, I think that was good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Day 2, it got worse. Same symptoms, couldn't get out of bed, and developed a really bad cough, which was pretty scary. Still lingering. Day 3, we woke up super late, had a good night's rest for the first time after a while. Had a bit more energy. We were still a bit foggy in the brain. We had runny nose, congestion, slight cough, and I took about 3 naps that day.
We slept a lot.
We slept so
Generally
much.
speaking, we slept a lot.
And it wasn't forced. Like, what we did was whenever our body felt like taking a nap, we just did it. We were like, you know what? Like, that's our body's way of, like, trying to recover, and we just let it happen. But yeah. Day 3, took about 3 naps, which was interesting. 4th day, woke up with heavy congestion in my nose, scratchy throat, was still coughing, not as bad. It turned into more of a dry cough, which was uncontrollable. I kept coughing and needed to drink water. And this was the time, what's it called, that the Jamaican, employees here at the resort actually suggested for us to take some garlic, lime, honey, what am I supposed to call it? Like,
it's like a home remedy.
Home remedy, there you go.
Yeah.
So they gave us this entire bottle. Maybe I should go get it. I should go get it. Yeah, go get it. Hold on. Okay, so the 4th day is when we got this. And this is a whole remedy that has garlic, lime juice, and honey.
Whole garlic.
There's like chunks of garlic in it.
Yeah.
And so we took this the first day, the 4th day. It was literally an entire cup of it. And me and Muzzy split it in half and drank it. And it honestly worked. I was shocked because I was like, oh, this is all. I mean, honey, of course, like South Asians, we think that honey, turmeric can cure anything, right? But they said that this is specifically going to help with the congestion in our nose, and it genuinely did help. I was shocked. And so I called them. We could, yeah. Do you have like a cup or something?
No.
But, so we called them and I was like, that was amazing. Can you please send us some more? And instead of sending another cup of it, they literally gave us an entire bottle of it, which we're so grateful for because now we don't have to call them. And whenever we feel like it, twice a day, we just take a little shot of this and it actually really helps. Yeah.
It does.
Day 5, so actually that was the first day that we kind of woke up and we're like, wow, we feel really good. We woke up early around 8 a.m. like by ourselves, and it was amazing, and we felt super well rested. We had a slight runny nose, but could definitely breathe, which was amazing. And we felt, I would say, 96% back to normal. So those were the symptoms day by day, and now we can go into the treatment plan.
Yeah. So the treatment plan was pretty simple. I mean, well, look, we didn't have access to the doctor here.
We didn't.
It was
we
just
didn't
a
see
nurse.
a doctor. Yeah.
No, luckily Fro's mom is a pediatrician.
So we kind of told her everything that was happening with us.
Right, and leaning on her really to help guide us on what we could do. So what we did was take Tylenol every 6 hours. Do not take, at least we were told not to take ibuprofen, aka Advil, because with this disease it can help
Possibly bleed.
Yeah, increase the chances of internal bleeding.
Yeah.
So while we did take ibuprofen initially for the first day-ish, we quickly switched over to Tylenol every 6 hours. Tylenol PM at the end of the day, the last dose, so that it could help us sleep, which I think was critical because...
No, it helps so much.
Yeah. Right, because I mean, you get a good night's sleep, the momentum stays forward, stays positive.
Yeah.
Lots
of water.
Yeah.
We drink so much water.
Right.
Oh my god.
And then obviously the antibiotic,
Yeah.
which will include the name of which in the description.
Down below.
Yeah. And zinc.
Oh yeah, we did take a lot of zinc too.
Yes.
Every single day we took some zinc.
Yeah.
And the story behind the antibiotic actually in Jamaica, it's not over the counter. Someone has to prescribe this antibiotic, obviously.
Yeah.
Our friends went to the pharmacy for us and were like, dude, our friends have COVID, we're from the US, can you please help us out? So they gave us the generic version, which I don't know how that was helpful or solve, whatever.
Yeah,
but they gave us the generic version of the medicine and we're like, dude, we'll take it. So we took it.
Yeah.
And it caused diarrhea. And so I told my mom and I was like, is this supposed to happen? It was definitely the antibiotic because after we were done taking the 3 doses, like we didn't have diarrhea again. So that's that.
And on that note, it was 1 pill for 3 days only. Yeah. So not bad in terms of like the length of the treatment plan. I mean, generally, I think the disease itself has a pretty short, at least this variant, assuming we have Omicron. We don't know for sure, but it was relatively quick, right? Like
thank God.
48, 72 hours basically, which is a blessing. I mean, I've heard it could be much longer.
Yeah, we're so blessed, especially because we're in a whole different country.
Yeah.
It could have been bad.
Yeah,
so
it could have.
We're very, very blessed.
Yeah.
But I guess now on to the resort and service. They were amazing. So we're at...
For the most part.
I think they were, I mean, it's not their fault that we're stuck in here.
No.
Like, it's not their fault. But number one, we're at an all-inclusive resort. We're at Azul by Karisma. And so it's beautiful here. The resort is absolutely beautiful. They have like 5 different restaurants, 2 different buffet places. And so we were not just, what's the word?
Left in a hole or something?
No, like we did not have to resort to just room service food. they allowed us to get food from like anywhere here, and so we literally had a feast every single day. Like we were able to order whatever the hell we wanted: pancakes, oatmeal, waffles, eggs, whatever, however we liked it for breakfast, toast with jelly, like literally anything that you wanted from the restaurant and from the resort, they were able to give it to us, which was very, very nice. We were definitely taken care of in that sense. And, you know, even treats like lattes and I'm sure ice cream, or even now that we're feeling better, alcohol. Like, I mean, they will definitely take care of us, and they have taken care of us. So I'm definitely gonna write them a really good review when we leave. We did have like 3 days left of our stay here at Azul. That was not, we couldn't get a refund for that, which was, I think that's what Muzzy was alluding to.
Yeah,
it was kind of frustrating because, I mean, it's an expensive resort, and it's not our fault that we got COVID. I will, before Muzzy talks about the refund part of it, Azul definitely did do us good in the sense that they did pay for our quarantine stay here. So when they did transfer us to a quarantine room, the entirety of it they paid for, which was nice for us because we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, like up to the 14 days that you could be in quarantine,
yeah.
we wouldn't be charged. So I mean, like I guess like obviously things are relative, so things could have been a lot worse, definitely, and it's certainly a privilege in itself to be able to quarantine in a resort. But you know, so what are the cons though? I think that I think more than the refund thing, because essentially we had 3 nights where we didn't get to leverage the
amenities,
the facilities, the amenities, the entire stay, right?
They have like so many pools here.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have like had some of that refunded, but
because we couldn't use the amenities at all. So
yeah,
me and Muzzy were discussing. We're like, so they're making us pay for those 3 nights because, like, what they said was, well, we are paying for your quarantine stay, so those 3 nights aren't refunded because they're doing us a favor. And I'm like, it's not a favor. The government is forcing you guys to quarantine us. Like, you're not doing us a favor. And
the favor would be that is at no charge.
I mean, are people charging? I don't know.
I mean, so
sure.
the U.S. Embassy is told, at least in its like announcements to people, that you should expect to pay if you have
really?
to quarantine.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess then it kind of makes it better.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
it's all relative.
Like, okay, like,
there's
you know,
big babies.
at the end of the day, people are gonna want like the best outcome, and for me, the best outcome would be free quarantine, and then either a partial refund or a full refund.
Yeah.
I think being like reasonable, it's fine. Like again, the quarantine stay, I was expecting that we would have to pay, so the fact that we don't have to, I think it's
really nice.
Is a positive,
it's
right?
A huge positive.
Because I think at the end of the day, it's gonna be 8 extra nights or something like that. So, you know, I mean, 8 extra nights of not being able to use the full amenities, sure, but still having a place without having to pay, I guess, is something.
I'm getting taken care of. Food service wherever, not wherever, but whenever we want, which is really nice.
Now, as an aside, though, I think generally speaking, the quality of food, at least at the 2 resorts that we've been at so far, has been mediocre. Now, this place serves better food than
way better.
The previous place.
Way better.
It's way better.
Yeah.
So, it is way better, but like it's sort of like, hey, on a 1 to 10 scale, if you have, you know, food item number 1, that is a 1, 10 being the best, and another food item that's 5, so the 5 is 5 times better than the 1. But it's still like meh, right? That's how I feel about the food here. It's like there are some things that are like, so like the jerk chicken here, fantastic.
Yeah. They're like, they have this like chicken burrito that is amazing. It has like chicken in it, cheese, and then it's like fried. Like the outside is fried, and it's so good.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things I had here when we first got to the resort, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So a few things. hit, that were good.
But again, like I was thinking about it and I was talking to Muzzy, is that if we were quarantined at home in New York, we wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store. So we would have to get DoorDash every single day. Like that'd be so expensive, and
it would be expensive, but I would love some melt shop right now, maybe. Or what's the other place for some chicken? Well, I guess you could get chicken at melt shop too, but Stickies, yeah. There's some things I miss at home.
Yeah, I know. It is Tuesday, and we're gonna have to go back on Sunday. Is the plan so far? So we just got visited by. Also, before we mention, right? Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. We took a antigen test to see, because we felt so much better. We're like, are we contagious or not? We took it and we're negative. And we celebrated. We were like, hell yeah, like we're negative, like we're about to get out of here, like oh my god, this is amazing. Nope. The Ministry of Health, right? Called yesterday. And they were telling us that it doesn't matter if you have a PCR test or not, like you have to quarantine for 10 days. The day after you made your test, which is Sunday. And yeah, it sucks. And we just got notice yesterday from articles on Facebook and CNN and whatnot that
the CDC has recommended to lower the quarantine number of days from 10 to 5. So that's
huge.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually like, reviewing the reactions on the internet, and a lot of people are like bashing the move by the CDC as an attempt to like just make businesses happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is like...
And a lot of it, and adding on to that, is that they're saying, I think Dr. Fauci actually said it, that the reason to lower quarantine is for healthcare workers to get back to work quicker. And so that didn't make me happy. It didn't make a lot of people happy. So we're kind of in this weird dilemma where like, cool, CDC says that we can shorten the quarantine days.
So selfish.
Again, it's selfish. Yeah. But number one is like, that's the U.S.'s decision, and we're in a whole different country. So we have no idea what Jamaica as a country is going to do.
Yeah.
And if they're going to follow U.S.'s footsteps. And so we're like in this weird like, well, we would love to go home. Like it's been 7 days. It's been for them it's been 6 days, but for us 7 days if we're counting the day that we got quarantined on that Wednesday. So we would love to go home.
Yeah.
But with all the backlash of what the CDC is saying, even in the U.S., we have no idea what Jamaica is going to do. So we're kind of stuck here until either the embassy or Ministry of Health tells us to get out.
Yeah, selfishly, right, we would hope that this announcement by the CDC influences Jamaica to follow suit so that we could get out. Then obviously, like, bigger picture, it's problematic if the CDC is changing it just for allowing workers to get back to work, right? Like, I don't, it was weird because the first article I read announcing it said that it's based on the fact that, you're contagious 3 days before and 2 days after, so then you quarantine for 5 days, which is what you need, otherwise you're not contagious.
Which, to be fair, when we took our antigen test, I know it's not as accurate as a PCR test, but when we first initially took our antigen test, it was positive, and then 5 days later, it was negative. So I don't know. We're kind of confused at this point.
And I think it's helpful though, actually, to reframe like what's more accurate versus not, right? Like, because, and I'm not an expert by any means, but my understanding is that the PCR, it's more about like what's the use case. The antigen test is accurate for its intended use case. The PCR will find DNA fragments, right, of the virus, but that doesn't mean that you're contagious, you're symptomatic, or anything.
Yeah.
You could have pieces of the DNA in your system for a long time. So technically, like, more accurate in doing what exactly? Well, I guess in deciding whether or not if you've ever had the disease in the past several months.
Mm-hmm.
The antigen test, though, its use case of saying, hey, are you contagious? Or do you have this virus? It's accurate in that, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't.
But like, I think it's still selfish of us to feel like we should be able to get out because we have a negative antigen test. I like, if we think about it logically, right? We are always in favor of people who have COVID to quarantine for 10 days. And just because we're in Jamaica, in paradise, like, I feel like it's selfish for us to be like, let us out, like, we're fine, we're not contagious, get us out of here. Like, of course we're going like stir crazy and we're like wanting to get out, but I mean,
yeah, I think
it is what it is at this point. I mean, but we're going to try to see if that's what the US is doing, to see if we can potentially get out. Like, all we want at this point is just to go back home. We don't even care about the beach. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. And yeah, and our last day, official day of quarantine, is on Saturday, January 1st, which means that we will be celebrating New Year's Eve in our quarantine room, which is gonna suck. But
how did we celebrate last year? I think it was lame too.
I don't remember. But what we're gonna do is, when the clock strikes midnight on January 2nd, we are going to run to the freaking beach and at least take a dip in the ocean and just like feel the sand in our toes. And our flight is at 12 p.m. that day, so we're gonna make the most of it. We are in Negril again. Yeah. The airport is in Montego Bay, so it's gonna take about an hour and a half for us to even get there. So we're gonna have to like leave early, and of course customs and whatnot. We have to get there at least 8 o'clock. Yeah. So means we have to leave here by like 7:30. So we're not gonna have a lot of time here. Maybe we'll see the sunrise.
Hopefully.
We will. Yeah. But a lot of wrangling has been going on in this video. That is our story of how we got COVID in Jamaica and how we're currently doing. If you guys have any further questions, or if you want a part 3, I'll probably be doing this in part 2, like 2 parts, because it's probably like 40 minutes and no one wants to see 40 minutes in one video. So we'll probably put it into 2 parts. But if you have any questions, concerns, comments, leave them in the comments down below. We would love to read and answer any follow-up questions. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. Any closing remarks for you?
No.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.
You first.
Yep. Take it up. Cut this. You said you don't want what?
I don't know. What do I say?
Ooh.
Yep, to the ring, baby girl. Cheers. Disgusting.
Not that bad. Oh.
It is that bad.
It's very garlicky. Don't smell it. Don't smell it. Don't smell it.
You're not gonna pour me one? No. Okay.
her to the back of the throat and just. There, attaboy.